And let's go ahead and sit forward a little bit. And you can just rock a little bit from side to side. So just start to notice that play that happens as you rock from one sit bone to the other. And then just start to make that movement a little bit smaller. So you're on the center of your sit bones, you're pressing down evenly. And then you can peek down at your feet and just make sure that your knees are above your ankles, your legs are about hips distance apart. As you root down into your feet, as you root into your sit bones, start to feel that lift through the sides of your waist. And let's just roll shoulders back a few times. And then roll forward. Good, roll back. And then just allowing your shoulder blades to release down your back. You can take your hands on top of your thighs. And if your eyes aren't closed already, just allow your eyelids to close. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Couple more times like that. So smooth, deep, full inhale. Let the breath go, the day go. Couple more times like that. And then you can allow your lips to seal. So you start to inhale through your nose and then also exhale through your nose. You might start to create that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. So just dipping into your Ujjayi breath, if that feels good to you to practice today. You're trying to keep the length of the inhale, the length of the exhale really nice and even. You're bringing your attention to that sound of your breath. So using that as a focal point to help you stay present. You might start to observe some of the sensations happening in your body. Maybe there's tension in the shoulders still. Perhaps they're creeping up around your ears. Can you just soften them down? Are you clenching fingers or toes? Are you clenching your jaw? Just observing and then trying to soften where you need to, even though there's some effort to simply sit like this. Just another moment or two here. Soak up this stillness. Good. And then you can gently blink your eyes open here. And then let's just start to rock around in that pelvic girdle. And you can start smaller with these circles. It can be a little bigger. And then again, just kind of noticing how this feels, where you're getting some sensation. Almost feels like a little bit of a lower lateral stretch. And then just start to switch directions here. Good work. All right. So let's just start to find that nice tall seat again for a nice mountain pose. Let's release our arms by our sides. And again, you can peek down at your feet. Just make sure that they're still about hip distance apart. Let's inhale, take the arms out nice and wide. Let's just go kind of slow here. And then as you exhale, palms come together, down, heart center. Let's just do that a few times. So just gently warming up the shoulder girdle. Do a couple more of these. Maybe these next couple of rounds, as you're extending the arms up, maybe you start to bring your gaze up. So you feel a little sense of cobra pose in the upper body. Do one more. Just moving at your pace. Again, taking up space, letting this feel really good. Beautiful. So let's carry these into some sun salutes right away today. So if you do have blocks, these can be really nice to just kind of set by the sides of your feet. If you don't have them, don't worry. Can modify without, but if you do have them, they can be kind of nice. Good. All right. So as we inhale, again, let's take the arms out wide, reach up, take a couple breaths here. So feeling all of this light through the sides of your waist, imagine that somebody is gently pulling you up, giving you a little tractioning from your wrists. Feel that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. Good. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold all the way in. So you can attack this a couple ways. You can swan dive in if you feel good doing that. Some of us, it feels a little more stable to take hands to thighs and then shins and then roll on down. And we're going to hang out here for a couple of breaths as well. So you're feeling your chin release towards your chest. You're getting some length in the back of the neck. Good. From here, this is where you might take your hands to your blocks and you can adjust them if you need to. So you can press your arms to straight. You start to lengthen through the sides of your waist. And if you don't have blocks, hands could be on your shins or your thighs with the elbows bent. So a little back bend here. You're gazing forward. Breath is smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. And then from here, we fold back into our Uttanasana. Maybe you can get the back of the neck to release a little more. And we're going to come out of this. So again, a couple of options here. Maybe you do a reverse swan dive out. That's going to get into the core a little bit. Maybe you simply choose to roll on up using your hands. Eventually, arms reach back up overhead. So we come into that Utthita Hastasana, into Tadasana, extended mountain pose. And again, if you'd like to bring your gaze up a little bit, you're welcome to do that. And then as we exhale, hands are going to come together at our heart, and that can look a couple different ways too. Maybe just bring palms to touch overhead, and then they come down to heart center. You could also take the arms out wide. For some of us, that feels really nice in the shoulder girdle. So lots of options, lots of ways to mix and match these half sun salutes. So let's flow a few of these together, just one movement per breath. So finding your nice Tadasana. Feel that openness across your chest. As we inhale, we stretch up. And as we exhale, nice and fluid, take that full exhale to fold all the way into your Uttanasana. Inhale into your Ardha Uttanasana. So that half forward fold, beautiful. Exhale back into your Uttanasana. And then inhale all the way up. Good. And then again, as you exhale, hands come to heart center. And let's do one more together, and then we'll just do a few on our own, moving with the breath. So inhaling, reaching up, Utthita Hastasana into Dasana. As you exhale, feel really graceful as you forward fold into your Uttanasana. Inhale, find that length, that cobra pose feeling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale back in. And inhale, bring down, to rise up, find space. Really nice. As you exhale, come back to home base. So we've got 3 more of these. Move with your breath at your pace. If you don't feel like doing 3, you could do 1 or 2, or you could simply sit quietly. You could do just a seated cat-cow if that feels better for you today. Otherwise, just find a little flow here. You're using your breath as your metronome. You're helping, your breath is setting your rhythm here. Some days it feels good to move a little faster. Some days we want to stretch it out a little bit. Just observe where you're at. There's absolutely no rush. Good. So whenever you're done with that 3rd round, you can just pause in your Tadasana, palms together at your heart. Maybe close your eyes here. And just check in, notice how you're feeling different. So there might be a little heat inside your body. Heart might be beating a little faster. You might be breathing a little faster. Might feel as though you found more space inside your body. Maybe you're sitting a little taller. Observe where you're at. Good. And then let's just find a little side stretching. So you can release your arms by your sides. As you inhale, let's take that left arm up and over. Exhale, it releases down. Good. And then inhale, we side bend off to the left. So you feel that stretch through the right side. Exhale, release. And then again, we're just going to continue like this. Several rounds to each side today. And you don't need to move with me. Instead, find that pace that feels good for you today. So maybe that means moving a little faster. Maybe that means really kind of just taking your time, stretching this out. We'll eventually give each side a little hold. Observe if you're getting any grip in your shoulders. Really nice work. So let's say the next time you're leaning off to your right, you're just going to hold there. And then maybe see if you can press into that left sit bone a little more so you get a little heavier there. Maybe you come out of the side bend a little bit. Feel those shoulder blades release down your back. Gently wrapping those right ribs up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're gazing up underneath the top arm. Again, check in with your breath. You've got that nice inhale through your nose, that nice exhale through your nose. Good. Let's exhale. Release that left arm down, and then inhale. Right arm comes up and over. And then several rounds of breath here. Get a little heavier in that right sit bone. And then from that heaviness, that groundedness, find more extension through that right side of your waist. It's a little bit of a twist here. So you're wrapping these left ribs up. Maybe you're gazing up underneath your right arm. Really nice. As we inhale, go ahead and come on up. And then let's just give the shoulders another little roll out. Roll them forward. Good, roll back again. And then let's just take our hands to our thighs. Let's get into the neck a little bit here. So go ahead and allow your chin to drop towards your chest. Right away, the shoulders might want to help out. You might notice that the back of the neck is gripping. So only go as far as feels comfortable. We'll visit this position a few times. So things will hopefully start to open up a little more. But you might notice that initially this first one, it could feel a little rough sometimes. Good. So let's keep our chin tucked here, moving nice and slow. Several breaths. Start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. You're going to start to get sensation on the opposite side, that left side. You might get to a place where it's, a little more intense, so you take a couple of breaths there. Good. And eventually make your way to that right side. So the right ear is releasing towards the right shoulder. And again, sometimes that right shoulder likes to creep up, so just allow it to soften down. Send your exhale to this left side of your neck. If you want to release those left fingertips down towards the floor, maybe that will just change where you're getting some sensation. You might even start to lift that arm a little bit. Good. Let's release this left hand down. If you'd like to take your right hand, just place it gently on top of your head. Apply a little pressure. Nice work. Let's all take our right hand, whether you did that variation or not. Just bring it to your right cheek. Use the strength of your arm to help bring your head to level. And then here we are back with chin towards chest. So second time around, does it feel different? And feel those shoulders just nice and heavy as though somebody were pressing gently on them. Keep your chin towards your chest, several rounds of breath, no rush to get there. As we keep the chin tucked, but move our left ear towards our left shoulder. You're going to start to feel sensation on this right side. You're going to notice how it's different than the left side. You're going to linger in those places where there's some intensity. Good. So just hanging out here. Side might be different, so you can just stay here. Do want to release right fingertips towards the floor. You're welcome to try that. You can always try it and decide not to do it as well. Again, it's okay if you do something on one side but not the other. And if you want to start to angle that arm up, kind of gets into some interesting places in the shoulder, the armpit area. Interesting is always the code word for I'm not sure how much I like this. That's interesting. All right, so go ahead, release that hand back down, and then if you want to take left hand, apply some gentle pressure. It's like saying, oh, bless your heart. It's interesting. Good work. So let's just take our left hand and use the strength of your arm to help bring your head upright. And then just one more time for good measure. Let's drop our chin towards our chest. You're observing if you're getting a little more length in the back of the neck. It's feeling a little easier. It's okay if it's not. Let's hold the to our shoulders. Good. And then you can just, elbows are parallel to the shoulder. And let's start by rocking forward. Rolling, really. And just notice this range of motion that you're getting. You can see if you can bring your elbows closer together. They might even touch. You're coming forward, but then as you open up, maybe you can stretch some way back. Good work. And then let's start to move in the opposite direction. It's going to feel different, so it's going to be easier to lean the elbows back here. It's going to feel probably a little funny as they come together. Good, so let's just find that beginning position again. From here, let's take the arms out wide. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, a little twist to the right. It's just basic twist here. You're going to go ahead and release your left hand down. It might come to the outside of your right thigh. It might be to the inside of your left thigh. So both good places to be. Just has a lot to do with how your body is feeling today. Or using hand presses against leg, wherever it's at, to help you find a little of that cobra feeling in your upper body. And then this idea of just wrapping these left ribs to the right. You might move towards looking out over. Breath again, smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Can you really emphasize filling the fire? Just with that. Good. So as you exhale, inhale, filling up on the inhale. Deep inhale. The hips a little bit today. You can keep your blocks handy. We'll move into a little forward fold with this. But a couple of options here. So you can just open up this right thigh. So kind of finding that warrior two leg situation. And it doesn't matter how far this leg comes out. Just where you start to feel some stretch outer hip, you'll get more stretch on the inseam of the leg in this variation. And then the other variation that you might take here is to take your right ankle above your left knee. So more of a seated pigeon pose. Both are good. They're both getting into similar places. So if you're in your seated pigeon, you can take your right hand into your right thigh, gently press down. Maybe the hips are really tight. That might not be happening. In fact, your knee might even be kind of high. Maybe bring your attention to your sit bones again. So just feel that even pressure, both of them. As you root down into your sit bones, you're feeling that length through the sides of your waist. if you're in this warrior two legs position, you can be pressing your hand into your inner thigh. So you're pressing that leg back behind you, and that's going to help you to find a little more sensation. So let's find a twist here. Inhale, arms stretch out wide. As you exhale, again, twist to the right. So if you're in this variation that I'm in, left hand will come to the inside of that left thigh. If you are in the seated pigeon, your hand could rest on your shin. You might be able to get it to the outside of that right thigh, just above the knee. So just kind of see where you're at. And just a little leverage to help you twist in. But notice how in this variation, you're also getting some sensation in that outer right hip. Check in with your breath again. Smooth, steady inhale. Smooth, steady exhale. A deep inhale here. Exhale, we unwind. And then let's find a little forward fold. So you're going to navigate this as well. And if you're tighter in your hips, it's going to be harder to forward fold. So it just might be the tiniest amount. You can kind of hinge forward. If you're a little more open, you might go a little deeper. This is where blocks can be really nice. So you can rest hands on blocks. And the same is also true for this variation. So you're kind of just gauging how things feel. You could even have fingertips on the floor. And as you're forward folding, maybe hold on to that idea of this right thigh pressing back if you're doing these warrior two legs. If you are seated in your single pigeon, think of that right knee releasing down towards the floor. And your exhale to that outer right hip, to those places where this is really intense. Just visualize the breath creating a little space and ease. Good. And then we're going to slowly start to roll on up here. All right, and then we're going to make our way to our second side. So, can do the same variation. It can look different side to side again. Sometimes what works on one doesn't work on the other. So, you can find that warrior two leg and opening up any amount that feels good. You can take your left hand to the inside of that left thigh. Use the strength of your arm to gently press back. Maybe you want to take the ankle above the knee. If that is available to you on this side. And then you're just perhaps applying a little weight there, helping to release this knee down towards the floor. That's going to intensify the sensation that you're feeling. And then breath smooth and steady. Noticing how this side feels different, if it feels different. One more breath here. Root into your sit bones. Inhale, stretch the arms. As we exhale, we twist to the left. So if you're in your warrior two legs, again, you're going to bring that right hand to the inside of your right thigh. A piece of shirt behind you. And actually, you can bring your right hand to the inside of that right thigh. Or shin or outside of left thigh if you were in the seated version. So again, just listening to your body. Notice if the shoulders are creeping into your ears here. Soften them down. Feel that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. You might be moving towards bringing your gaze out over your left shoulder. Observing how this side feels differently than the other side. Deep inhale. As you exhale, you unwind, and then again we find that little forward fold. So you can just push forward the tiniest amount. If this feels a little more accessible in your body, maybe your hands blocks. Particularly if you're in that warrior two version, the fingertips might even graze the floor. Observing how the stretch shifts. It's a little different. Tense. Yeah. Just come back to your nice mountain pose. Of sitting tall. Check in here, noticing how you're feeling. Go ahead and move into our Viloma I breath, or three-part the protection. So you can go ahead and close your eyes here. If you know that this breath work just not working for you today, you can just simply breathe here, kind of move into quiet meditation. And if you want to join, let's all go ahead and take a nice deep inhale here together. And then a full, complete exhale, so you're emptying out. There's a little pause at the bottom. You might even feel your belly pulling it up. And then you're going to inhale up to your belly button, and you're going to pause the breath. And inhale another third of the way up to those floating ribs. Pause the breath. Then you're going to inhale all the way up underneath your collarbone. Little lift of the sternum. You're pausing the breath. And then exhale the air out through your nose. When you reach the bottom, just take a couple rounds of normal breath. Notice how you're feeling. Notice if there's tension in your shoulders, your face, your jaw. See if you can soften there. We'll take another round together. So let's take a nice deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Inhale 1/3 of the way up. Breath. Inhale another third of the way up. Inhale all the way up underneath your collar. Slowly exhale here out through your nose. Taking a few rounds of just normal breath. And that's your deep complete exhale through your nose. And inhale a third of the way up. Inhale another third of the way up. And you just allow your breath to find its own natural even breath here. You check feeling after these retentions on the inhale. Probably energizing quality. Wake us up a little bit. Good practice to do when you're getting that mid-afternoon slump. All right, so let's go ahead and move to now. This actually be like Shavasana state of mind. So you're resting somewhere. See, you stay exactly as you are in the seated position. If you wanted to come into a forward fold, supported child's pose, with a desk or a table in front of you, sometimes that can feel really calming and relaxing. You're always welcome to come into classic Shavasana, so laying down on the floor if that feels good. You can lay back in your chair. Wherever you're at, just try to completely relax your body. Allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm so you're not focusing on that so much anymore. And you're giving yourself permission to be quiet and still these final few moments of class, so you don't have to worry about that to-do list just yet. All of the things that you need to get done later today. It will be there. You'll be ready for it. Give yourself this time to segue into all of that. Give yourself this bookend. Shavasana. Asato ma sat gamaya. Tamaso ma joy tir gamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth side and breath out. Let it go. Ha. Start to little fingers, toes. We'll stretch out any movement here that feels good. Starting to bring your awareness back to your body. And finally, just landing with your hands in a pile on top of your heart. Sending yourself love and gratitude, sending your body love and gratitude for showing up, for putting in the effort. And just promise yourself you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. Gently bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. Namaste.